What up? I'm Aaron,
I'm Colton.
and this is Bikes, Mics, and Beers, episode 2. So what up, everybody? My name's Aaron, as you know from watching episode 1. And if you didn't watch episode 1, well, I'm Aaron. Merry Christmas.
And I'm Colton.
He's a man of not many words at all. But it's okay. So, as we described in episode 1, bikes, mics, and beers. What is it about? Well, it's about bikes. It's really not about mics. You just got to have this for a podcast. But it is about beers. And we kind of saw after episode 1 that we don't know anything about beer.
And we really don't like anything except regular beer.
Yeah, and so instead of just like saying, oh, you ought to go out and try this beer because we think it's good, piss on that.
We're going to drink regular beer.
We're going to drink regular beer, Bud Light, because that's what we like. You know what? I think it's time.
Drink to that.
I will too. Oh, that's so good. All right, so let's get into this. Episode 1, we discussed our bike. Mine was the Kawasaki Mean Streak, 1500, 2002.
And mine, the 2015 Honda Fury.
We like them. We hate them. It's great. So this episode, we're going to talk about 2 random bikes. Neither one of us know which one the other one picked. I've been trying to get it out of Colton for the last 2 weeks. He has not said a word to me. Still trying to guess it.
So as we covered a little bit last week, I'm not a bagger guy. I'm not a touring guy. I like a bobber, regular, just cruiser type of bike. And my mind may have been changed here recently.
Ooh, bum, bum, bum. But we're going to wait because I'm not letting him go first today.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold out the suspense and
So,
the match.
yeah.
So we actually didn't pick out any gear to review today, which is really weird. And it's okay because what we're actually going to do is instead of reviewing gear on this episode, we actually went on a really cool ride yesterday, which today's Monday, the 20th. We went on a ride on the 19th, which was a Sunday. It was beautiful. We decided to ride Route 52 all the way from East River Mountain all the way to Big Walker Mountain. We rode for our good friend Bobby.
Yeah.
Which, hope he's okay. He had a little incident. Hope his elbow's not broke.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we won't get into that. Don't want anybody's feelings to get hurted. But, so we'll post some videos of that so you guys can check that out and check out where we ride. So I want to go first. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Guess the bike.
All right, my guess is a Goldwing.
Wrong. Man, really? No. Actually wasn't even in my thoughts.
Okay.
I want to do the Yamaha Star Venture.
Okay, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, you are. It's ugly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, son, it looks like a Harley in the front end.
Okay, I know the one.
All right, so let's get into it. The Yamaha Star Venture, a bike that I would love to have, but there is one big flaw with it that I can't stand.
Which is?
I won't tell you until we go over the cons.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into this bike. It's 1800. It actually is an 1854 cc.
Oh, it's a big boy.
That's a big boy. It's a big boy, but it's a lot of package. Guess the weight.
700 pounds.
Wrong. This thing wet is 963 pounds.
That's heavy.
That's a heavy bike. That's a heavy bike to be lugging around. So it's got to have a big motor, plus my fat ass on it. Anyways, the cool part about this, it's got a 6.6 gallon tank with 34 mpg.
Okay.
So you're getting some mileage on this bike. It's really nice. It's a 6-speed multi-plate clutch and slipper wet clutch. So it's got 2 different designs on it. Really cool.
Okay.
I dig it. It's belt driven. To some people, that's not a thing.
Okay.
That's not my setback on it, but to some people, that's a big thing. But it's belt driven, which kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, for a big bike, you think shaft drive.
Especially with it's a touring pack, all this stuff on it, that much weight would not have expected a belt driven.
I cannot believe how similar our bikes are right now.
This thing also has touchscreen, so touchscreen controls. It's got a huge LCD screen, navigation, all that cool stuff.
Yeah,
It's got a really cool infotainment system. I dig it. It's air cooled. 2 saddlebags, big trunk, room for 2 full face helmets in the trunk.
Yeah.
The saddlebags are huge. It's got a lot of storage, so that's really cool. The fairing has storage in it as well.
Oh, wow.
So super cool. Standard heated seats and grips. Standard every
wow.
model.
Oh, wow.
So get with that. Come on, Harley. Let's see you do that. All of this comes in, and I didn't look at the price, so don't. Actually, I'll tell you what, while Colton is explaining his bike, I'm going to look up the price for it while he does that. So, Colton, go and tell us a little bit about your bike,
All right.
buddy.
My bike is a 1700. 6-speed. It's a cruiser. It is a 2020 Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero. Yeah. Don't have all the specs on mine. Maybe we can throw it up on the screen for you guys to look at, but
Bloop.
and there they are. 81 horsepower, 106 foot-pounds of torque, thanks to that big V-twin. As compared to the Harley, roughly the same torque. I think the Harley makes a little less than 20 more foot-pounds of torque. Unknown horsepower rating, if you guys know why or where I can find that. Again, 6-speed manual, 5-gallon fuel tank, as compared to the how many on the...
6.6.
6.6, okay.
Not a big difference.
Truthfully, I didn't look up... Well, I'm sure we can throw some stats like that up there, too. How you like that, buddy?
I never would have expected that.
Yeah.
Completely caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Now, another bike that we will talk about, it's not going to be next week, but another bike that we'll talk about is the Kawasaki... I know the name of it. I cannot think of it right now. But
What is that bike called?
it is the... it's a Vulcan.
Voyager.
Voyager. It's,
Yeah, the Voyager.
It's a Voyager. And that is pretty much Kawasaki's version of the Yamaha Star Venture.
Right, yeah.
So the fact that you picked Kawasaki blows my mind.
Yeah.
1700?
Yeah.
That's a big bike.
That's a
What
big
was the
boy.
weight? Did you? I don't know if you looked at that.
Unknown. We can throw that up there too. I think
Yeah, so-
I'm wanting to say I read it was like in the 800 range. That's why I was so shocked that your bike was 9 something.
Well, I don't think the Vaquero. Of course, we're gonna have pictures up and stuff like that, but I don't think the Vaquero has a trunk and all that
It
stuff
does
on it, does
not.
it? Yeah. So it's
No.
it's a bagger.
So I recently sat on one, just the day before yesterday, right? Oh man, I fell in love. It's beautiful. So we'll go over I'll go over some of the pros and cons of mine. Obviously,
Now,
a
obviously,
big one.
we've not rode
No,
any of these
no,
bikes.
I've never.
So we cannot give a 100% pro, 100% cons. This is literally just things that we think are weird or really cool about the bikes.
So like we went over the big torque, that big V twin, the price tag, 16,800.
Wow.
Yeah. Compared to the Harley, which is $22,000, pretty significant if you ask me.
Well, you pay for the name.
That's true, and that's about it. Heel toe shift, which I don't know how to feel about. I don't have much experience with it.
They're fantastic.
With the
If I wish that my bike could be set up to have a heel toe shift, it'd be really weird on that without floorboards. The heel toe shifter is awesome.
also has floorboards.
See, that's nice.
Yeah. However, something that I mean, it caught my eye, but they have one color choice for
Green.
2020.
Green?
It's blue.
Blue.
Very, very pretty blue. But so is everyone else's Vaquero. It's blue.
Just getting custom painted, man.
Yeah, after spending $17,000 on the bike. So that was pretty cool. Cruise control. Again, it's a. I don't know if you call it a touring bike. I don't know how that bike would be classified, like a super grandpa.
It's
cruiser.
like a cruiser touring.
Yeah.
If it was even a category, which I guess it's not.
Guess-
Could be, should be.
Well,
But-
this would be the perfect spot for that bike.
Right. Saddlebags, right?
Saddlebags,
all that good stuff.
yeah, single or not a single seat. It has a seat for a passenger, but no backrest.
So how do you feel about that?
Makes it look super sleek
Now-
in the back.
All right, so I think what's got Colton's head changed into this is recently his girlfriend has decided that she would like to ride.
Yeah.
And which, hey, my wife rides with me. She's got her own bike. That's cool. Can't wait to get her out and actually ride with her on her own bike, stuff like that. Or are you going to buy a backrest for it? Because you just bought a backrest for the Fury.
Yeah, I did, and I haven't even got it in yet, and I'm already thinking about this Vaquero. I don't know. Of course, I would buy a backrest for her if she asked for it.
Right, because, Now I'm looking at this Vaquero right now, and again, we'll post some pictures of it. That's a really nice bike.
Yes.
That blue's nice, man, with the silver stripes and stuff
man, I
like
sat
that.
on it
That's
and-
sharp.
The fairing, the gauges. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't have the fairing is not attached to the bars, correct? It doesn't turn with the bars.
From the looks of it here, I would think it is attached to the bars, but I could be wrong. I normally am. No, actually, I guess it is not. Yeah, no, it is not.
That's a big
Sorry,
plus
I had to
for me.
I had to enlarge the picture.
Big
couldn't
plus for
see
me.
it.
I don't like that. I don't like the way that the fairing, when the fairing turns with the bars. I like them. I like it to be attached to the frame, stationary.
Yeah, and that's how the Goldwing was.
Mhm.
And I really like that. I think that added to the looks for sure of that bike. While our bikes are really similar,
Yeah, I can't say that I didn't expect it.
but I never would have expected you to come out the gate with that. And I mean, it's probably expected for me to come out the gate with what I came out the gate
Yeah.
with, but not yours, man. I was
Yeah.
when you told me today at work that it was going to be like a cruiser
Yeah.
or a bagger, I was like, whoa, okay.
Were you thinking Harley?
I wasn't thinking Harley. I feel like you're almost talked out of Harleys now. I feel like you've talked yourself out of them after you've been on a Honda or anything like that.
Well, the Harley name, of course. I don't have any bad experience with Harley. I've had one a long time ago. The only thing that was a plus again was the test rides, the warranty. Now, I think if I'm not mistaken, I read when I was reading up on the Vaquero that Kawasaki has a 36-month warranty.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, as opposed to the Honda that I have. Again, it
1
may be
year.
different for touring bikes
You just got 1 year,
versus
don't you?
cruisers versus sport bikes, whatever. 12 months.
I also feel like that is where you bought yours 5 years, but brand new.
No, the
Is
warranty
that
would remain
so
the
that's-
same. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that I could see that being an issue. Longer warranty's nice. So you've described yours. I'm gonna get into some of the pros and stuff that I think, and there's not really a long list of it because again, I haven't even sit on one of these bikes. I went to when Dad went to pick up his slingshot. We'll do a segment on that, but it's not really bikes.
We'll see about that.
No, slingshots are beautiful. But when I went with Dad to Charlotte to pick up his slingshot, the dealer, they sold Indian, Yamaha, Polaris, Honda, all that good stuff. And I asked the guy, I said, hey, man, you guys going to have these Yamaha Star Adventures? And he said, man, I can't keep these things on the floor.
Really?
And I was like, really? And I was like, dang. I was like, that's a super nice bike, but I mean, I wouldn't figure too many people would be buying it. He said, where else do you get that much of a bike for that price tag? And I looked the price tag up. These things start at $24,900.
That's high to me, man. But
It's
again,
high,
it's a lot
but
of bike.
look what you're getting.
And it's an 1800.
It's 1800. You're getting the 1800. You're getting this killer infotainment system. You're getting all of these features that added onto this bike from the deal. I mean, from Yamaha. It's not add-ons,
And all covered under warranty.
and it's all covered under warranty. Now I didn't look up the warranty.
Now is that you said? I heard you say it was air cooled, which I unfortunately didn't. think to
Okay.
look up. But is that an air cooled V twin?
It is an air-cooled V twin.
Now is it oil cooled? Does it have an oil cooler on it?
Didn't go that far into it. I would assume
I mean, I would hope so.
that it probably does. That's my con. That is my biggest con with this bike is it's air cooled. Not that I have anything really. I don't really have anything against that. But man, my thing is, if I'm going on trips that's not on 2-lane road, if I'm on the interstate, chances are I'm hitting traffic.
That's true.
I'm hitting traffic, which means that bike is getting hot.
Yeah.
And then, which means my legs are getting hot. And then I'm just an upset person. So all the lamps on these, turn signals, brake lights, headlights, everything's LED.
Okay.
So it's bright, man. I mean, so you don't have to worry about being, visible, because you're gonna be visible. There's so much storage room. I cannot stress that enough. There's so much storage on this bike. Like I said, you got the trunk, you got the 2 saddlebags, you've got storage on both sides of the fairing, which is awesome. And the fairing's locked. The fairing packet or the fairing storage locks.
Like same key as the ignition, or
I don't know. I think if I'm not wrong, it is all on a key fob.
oh wow.
This is so Yamaha's kind of got the whole thing, and a lot of bikes have went to this now. I know Harley went to it a couple years ago, but everybody's going to like a motorcycle's version of a push button start.
Right. Yeah.
You just gotta have the key on you, the bike turns on, starts, and all that stuff, and you can unlock it. The coolest thing that I think about, obviously, when I ride a motorcycle and I'm shooting footage, my cameras go dead.
Yeah.
I do not have it. Now, my Gold Wing, I had a built-in USB charger. I could charge up to 3 devices at once.
Had.
Rest in peace. But I could charge up to 3 devices at once. I thought that was super cool. This has 2 USB charging ports, one in the front and one in the rear bag. So I was like, that's nifty. So, if I was vlogger, whatever you want to call it, or doing what we're doing, that comes in handy. Not only for your phone, but GoPros, stuff like that. I fly a drone.
Yeah.
So a lot of that, would come in handy. Well, some pros about yours, man. And I've already looked at your bike.
Yeah.
I've looked at your bike, so I mean, I know a couple of the good things, man. I love your bike.
So I was walking through the store, and then there's 100 motorcycles in here. And
if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about Hillbilly Cycles. They're in Princeton, West Virginia, on Mercer Street. Cool people,
very
super cool people. We've had really great luck with them. Now we have a buddy of ours that ran into some issues, but I feel like that went both ways. So I won't throw shade at anybody on that.
No, as far as personal experience, great experience with the people that worked there. Very nice, very helpful. But I'm walking around the showroom, and they have 4-wheelers, they have side-by-sides, and they have motorcycles. And of course, I'm drawn to the motorcycles. And I'm on that side of the.
After you pulled your girlfriend away from the 4-wheelers.
Yeah. Yeah. So I pull over to that side of the floor, and she's shaking her head at all of them. and I look at this.
As women do.
And I look at this big Tourer, right? And I'm like, wow, that paint is beautiful. It's like black and blue. And I sit on it. I'm like, wow, I really like that fairing. These gauges there have like a.
It's like a retro style gauge.
Yeah, they're round gauges with the needle.
See, that's how that Voyager is.
Yeah, big chrome bezel around them. I said, man, I like that. I looked at the price tag and I was like, that's reasonable. Like I could.
That really is for $1,700 that size bike.
Yeah,
that's a reasonable price.
I could justify buying that, especially if she does get into riding the way that I think she will. I could totally justify that for trips.
Oh yeah, I mean there's so much storage, camping trips, stuff like that. I mean you're golden.
Hard bags made on to the bike. Definitely a viable option.
I like it. Anything else you like about it?
What else is there? It's got a big motor. It's pretty. And it's probably pretty fast.
All right, so cons on the Star Venture. It is a touring bike. Yeah, it's a touring bike. There's no way around that. I think that you can get this bike without the trunk on it, which would make it pretty much identical to the Voyager.
Yeah.
Air-cooled, man. Back to that. That's my biggest turn-off.
I wish I knew if mine was air-cooled or water-cooled.
That is the biggest turn-off on me. It's air-cooled. If it was not air-cooled, I would totally be like, this is going to be my bike. The seat height is 37.4 inches.
Oh, wow.
That's high.
That's how much? How big is it?
It's 1,800.
No. I'm sorry. What was how tall?
37.4 inches.
That's almost a foot taller than the Fury.
So, Yamaha claims that it is a very low seat height for a touring bike. If anybody's got one, let me know how you feel about it, because I'd personally like to know, because to me that seems like it's really high. But now we've also been, I think my seat height's maybe
30 inches.
30, yeah. I was going to say 28 to 30, somewhere around there.
Mine's 20. Mine's 26.
Yeah, so yeah.
Super high.
I
Super high off the ground. I feel like you'd be. I feel like
What did
you'd
I
be
say? Did I say
tiptoeing.
37.4?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's 27.4.
Oh yeah, that's nuts, bro. That's super low for a touring bike.
That's 27.4.
That is super low for a touring bike.
27.4, everybody.
I would
Hold
like
on,
to.
hold
I would like to see a monster bike with a 40-inch sitting position.
I got my facts wrong, folks. I read a 2 and it should have been I read a 3 and it should have been a 2.
Quick math.
But that's okay. Quick maths. Something I'm not good at. It's okay. We all make mistakes, though, and I'm not editing any of that out. So, Merry Christmas. Overall, the bike's worth $24.9 to me. It's I'd be all in it for that.
I think it looks like a praying mantis up front. I think it looks like a wing in the
I think
back.
this thing looks mean up front, man.
I
Mean.
don't know.
I'd love to see it coming down the road at you at night.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it rides great. Sounds like, low sitting position. I'm sure it's easy to ride. A lot of money I mean, it is a lot of. You're getting a lot of bike.
You were getting a lot of bike for $24.9. And I mean, all right, so your bike's how much? 19? 17.
17, less than
Okay.
17,
So-
16.8.
So $6,000 to $7,000 more.
Yeah.
You get it added on trunk, heated seat, heated grips, which to a lot of people that does not mean a lot. It doesn't.
To
but,
me, no.
but you and I also like to ride in the cold.
That's true. We like to ride all the time.
Exactly.
whether
I
it's
mean,
cold or
if it's not snowing, we're riding pretty much. I mean, so to me, that's nice. That's really nice. Keeps me warm. The charging, the USB charging, I think is really nice. Of course, for me,
Now, to a person that does use their touring bike, to like drive cross country, absolutely, I see the benefits of the heated seat, the grips, the trunk, all the storage. But
this is not an around town bike.
no, for a person that takes the casual weekend trip like myself, I couldn't justify it.
I don't see this being a daily
No.
by any means, unless it was like an hour to 2 hour commute for me to work.
Right, yeah. If you had a long commute to work, but then again, it's hard. It's hard to work around the weather.
Yes.
It may be raining in the morning. It may be sun shining in the morning, and then when you on your way home from work, it's
Ain't
raining.
no sunshine
When
when
she's
she
gone.
gone. But there is when you ride a motorcycle. Not in our
Not
case.
always.
Anything else you'd like to add on your bike?
The more I talk about it, the more I
The more
want to
you
buy
want
it.
it.
Matter of fact, the dealer's open tomorrow. So
I'm not taking listen, you're not taking a longer lunch break to go buy this motorcycle.
So, you guys may see the Vaquero ride video sooner than anyone expected.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I guess that will pretty much do it for episode 2 of Bikes, Mics, and Beers. Again, I'm Aaron.
I'm Colton.
Thanks for watching. Enjoy this footage of us riding our motorcycles this weekend.